Hey guys, and welcome back to I Have a Story to Tell. I'm sorry I'm a day late, but Nina had to take some time out to handle some stuff. So I'm back as promised. I try not to make promises to you guys that I can't keep. So we're going to jump right into the subject because I feel as though that this one is a little bit different, but it still holds importance. So today's subject is the difference between being humble and being naive. Let me explain something to y'all. There is a major difference between being humble and being naive. When you are humbling yourself, you humble yourself to say, you know what? I'm bigger than the situation. I'm bigger than the issue, and I'm gonna take the higher route. What's that meme that they put out? It's above me now. And being naive, where you think you're being humble when you actually need to voice your opinion or you need to make a stand and put your foot down. So, the first thing that I'm gonna jump into is some things aren't worth the outcome. How that weighs between being humble and being naive is you can have a situation where it's a, I can't even say crisis. It's you having a situation. That's what we're gonna leave it as, a situation. Everything don't deserve another word. I gotta stop doing that. Everything does deserve another word. You can have a situation where you think, oh, I gotta fight, I gotta fight, I gotta fight, I gotta fight, when all you gotta do is humble yourself. Because sometimes when you humble yourself and you take the higher road, you kind of miss the outcome, which can be a negative outcome. And it's kind of like, whew, I just missed something that, could have been detrimental to my livelihood. It could have been detrimental to my health. It could have been detrimental to my sanity. And that's most important. When you realize that some things are not worth the outcome, you step back and you just be like, you know what, you got it. That doesn't make you naive. It just means that you're humbling yourself and you saying, you know what, I'm just not. Do not giving off what the other person or what the situation may be calling for, because that outcome is going to tumble into a down spiral, and that's what you don't want. um you don't have to win everything. Everything is not meant for you to win. Sometimes when you take that loss, you actually won. So let me explain that. When you feel like you lost to a situation because you didn't fight and you humbled yourself, in the end, you actually do win, because the negative outcome is not something that you wanted in the first place. So you kind of back yourself up off of it and say, you know what, I'm going to just humble myself and I'm going to bow out. Very good to do in a lot of situations, especially when it comes down to conflict. Because conflict, for a lot of things that I've experienced, they stupid. It's petty and it's not worth my time. So I'ma just graciously say, you know what? You won. You want the last word, you can have it. I'ma state my opinion and I'ma call it that. That's not being naive. That's humbling yourself, because you're actually winning. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's good to make people feel like they won if it keeps your peace, which is the most important part. So that's point one. Standing your ground, it doesn't always require you being tough. Now, there's a major difference. If someone has hurt you, like how I've been hurt, um, after a while, I just learned to humble myself out. It doesn't make me naive because I didn't fight. You know what I mean? Not every situation called for me to be tough. I just was like, you know what, you got it. That's not worth my sanity. Um, I see the bigger picture. You know what I mean? So if you feel as though you need to win with that, then you can have it. By all means, take it. You got it, boo. Learn how to walk away. That is one of the toughest things that I had to learn is walking away. I'm a Leo. I don't know if you guys are into astrology or into your zodiac signs like that. Um, and I don't even think that it's just my zodiac sign, it's just my personality. I I tend to not back down from nothing, which means if you want that fight, you got that fight. But over time and with experience, I had to learn that, you know what, I'm gonna just walk away. I'm gonna just leave it alone. It doesn't require me to speak, and it certainly doesn't require me to do any other action but to walk away from that situation. Because at the end of the day, you're going to deal with it, of course. Behind every conflict, there are feelings, there are emotions, there are thoughts. Um, but sometimes it doesn't require you to speak your thoughts because they're going to fall on deaf ears. It doesn't require your actions because it's not going to do anything but make you a laughing stock. Because the other party that's involved, they really don't care. So sometimes you just have to walk away from that situation and just say, you know what, you got it. You can have it, boo. It's not worth it. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my energy. It's not worth the negative space that you're trying to create in my world and my peace haven. So some things you just have to walk away from. Oh, by the way, y'all gotta excuse me. I had to change the scenery. So I'm in the comfort of my bedroom. That's where I'm most humble. I lay my head and I rest and I'm at peace. Two, learning to read in between the lines. I'm a very big person on speaking. Well, I was. Um, Over time, I had to learn that it's better to let the other party talk because it gives you a chance to observe. It gives you a chance to listen, and by listening, you get to actually tap into your intellect to read in between the lines of a situation, which will either cause you to avoid being naive or enable you to become humble and to bow out from a negative situation. Um, Being humble is not stupid. Some people may look at you like, oh, but why you ain't did it and you let that ride? Some things you just have to. You have to let some things ride because as long as you're not on board for that ride, you don't have to deal with the consequences afterwards. You just let it bypass you. So because you're reading in between the lines, or because you have read in between the lines and you took that time to sit back and fully investigate your whole entire situation, it causes you to humble yourself and say, you know what? I was actually smart for doing that. Like, I ducked something that could have eventually made me, or could affect my peace. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want that. The purpose of me giving you guys, these little vlogs is to help you to not go through what I've went through. Um, in my past situations. And it's not even just domestic violence. I don't want to, keep reiterating on that because my whole life has not been domestic violence. Just situations, period. Whether it be with family or friends at this point. Some things I just had to bow out from because I was able to read in between the lines and see, yeah, no, we're not going to take that route. Don't let other people's actions interrupt your vibe. Let me say that again. Do not let other people's actions interrupt your vibe. Trust me, if you love as hard as I do, if you care as hard as I do, sometimes that is virtually, or it may seem virtually impossible. But I've learned you cannot let other people and their actions interrupt your vibe. If you are focusing on, okay, I'm trying to center peace in my life. I'm trying to build something for myself. I'm trying to build something for my loved ones. In my case, I'm trying to build something for my children. Hopefully, so they can, take this and explore with it, or, something for them to be proud of. I can't let certain things, certain people, and certain places interrupt my vibe. I have to block that out or cut it off. I advise you guys to do the same thing. Everything does not require your energy. 3, and this is most important, important. And I say this because sometimes I still have a hard time doing it, but I've learned to do it a lot more. Learn to say no. You can say it humbly. It does not make you naive. Because sometimes when you don't say no, you are becoming naive. Do not put yourself out there on a limb for somebody that is not willing to do it for you. Do not give off positive energy to someone that is always bringing you negative energy. You can uplift someone, but you can only do that to a certain point. Learn to say no. Because sometimes when you don't say no, you are blocking your blessings, or you are giving your blessings away, which means that something that God intended for you, you're giving it away to someone that is very undeserving of it, or will mistreat it or misuse it. So you need to learn how to say no. Say no. Everybody, say it with me. No. Say no. Because if you don't, it will make you look naive. And no, it's not humbling yourself. Learn to say no. It's okay to say no. If you really don't got it, say no. If you really can't give it, whether it be monetary, emotions, physical, no. And it's okay for you to say no. Timing is everything. Make each moment count. Now, let me explain how that coincides with being humble and not being naive. So, for those of you that are in relationships, Um, Sometimes we tend to give people more of our time than they're actually supposed to be allotted. And that makes us naive because we continuously give them the extra time to get it right, or to continuously make the same mistake over and over again, and we tell them, oh, it's okay. No, you're being very naive. I'm a very firm believer in, you can make all the mistakes that you want. For me, don't make the same mistake twice. The first time, it's the mistake. The second time, it becomes a pattern because it's going to keep happening. So the more that you allow it, you're taking precious time away from yourself and your goal, and that makes you naive. That's when you learn to humble yourself from the situation and say, you know what, I got to back up off that. You just have to. Doesn't make you naive. You're just humbling yourself from that situation and recognizing that every moment in your life counts. Every second in your life counts. Time is a very precious thing that no one sees, but it's continuously moving. So you want to make every moment in your life count for something. I'm sorry. I just looked down at my notebook, and the next part, I literally had to embrace that. So that famous saying to take your own advice, I had to buckle down and learn how to put my differences aside and come to a common ground, because I was the naive person. I allowed people more time and more space in my life than they actually deserved. Um, and the people that did deserve it, I pushed them away. Luckily, I was able to humble myself and rekindle those relationships. But sometimes you just gotta learn to put your differences aside and come to a common ground so that way you can grow. Even if it requires you not ever speaking to that person again, you put your difference aside, you come to a common ground with that person, and either you guys are going to continue to grow together, or you're going to say, this is the end of the road. I'm going to go my way, you're going to go your way, and we're just going to leave it at that. It's no harm, it's no foul. It is what it is. I love saying that. I use it in almost everything that I do. It is what it is. But you have to learn how to put those differences aside. You have to learn how to humble your, that's when you learn how to humble yourself, and it does not make you naive, but that's when you humble yourself because you're not always right in a situation. For me, I love being right, but I had to learn that sometimes I'm not always right in a situation. So I had to humble myself and put those differences aside and say, you know what, I apologize. My ex mother in law, God rest her soul, is a big saying, niggas are sorry. Excuse me for saying the N word, but they're sorry. People apologize. So you have to learn how to apologize and humble yourself and come to a common ground so that way you can grow. And I say that more for self growth than it is to grow in a relationship, because at any point in time that relationship can change, but you as a person will grow from that certain situation because you allowed yourself to be humble and to come to a common ground. Step 2, something else I had to learn: you are not a doormat. You are not made to be stepped on. You are not made to be walked all over. You are not made to look stupid, dumb, whatever words you want to call it. You are not a doormat. Do not allow someone to use you, because that makes you not even know at this point you are not being humble. I know, because I allowed people to do it. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I did. I allowed people to use me because I thought it was love. I thought it was genuine and somebody caring for me when they actually didn't. They just was using me for what I had and what I could do and what I could give. You're not a doormat. And the longer you allow situations like that to happen, you will become naive, or you will be labeled as naive. You are not. We are not. And I say that because when I do these vlogs, we in this together. We are not. We are not doormats. We are divine beings that have a purpose and have something to give to this earth before it is our time to close our eyes and meet our maker. You're not a doormat. Don't allow anybody to use you. Don't get me wrong. We are all meant to be used, but for the right purposes. You're not a doormat. Learn how to read in between the lines so you can see whether you're being used as a doormat or you're being used to build in a relationship or to build in life. You're not a doormat, nor should you be treated like one. Step 3, and it's my last one because I gotta go cook. I was supposed to do that before I did the vlog, but I wanted to get this done and out the way. Learn the difference between real help and being used. That took me a long time to figure out, because people have a keen sense of masking themselves or masking their real intentions. Everybody that's in your corner ain't there to help you. Some people just around for the drama. And the little bit of help that you think is oh so much is a facade. The help that you think is genuine, it ain't. Learn those signs. People that tend to use you or to put on a facade that they're helping, you will notice, because when everything is going good for you, they're not happy. But when stuff hit the fan, oh, they all for it. What's up? What's going on? What's up? What's going on? Now they want to be involved. No. That's not real help. They're using you. Learn the difference. I don't ever want you guys to be naive. It's hard, but as time goes on and with experience, you will know whether you're humbling yourself from something or if you're being naive to a situation. I wanted to do something a little different today because I had to learn that. And this is not a week-to-week basis like I normally go on. It just happens so much throughout the week that I felt like, yeah, I need to talk about this. I need to share this with the world. Learn the difference. If you guys have any questions, if you want to chat, you guys have my inbox. You guys are free to comment. Um, I'm trying to get one of you guys to come up here and to actually do a vlog with me. I know that it can be scary, but I really would love to have not just my opinion of a certain topic on here. So, this is going to conclude I Got a Story to Tell by Christina Battle. And I hope that you guys enjoy. I hope that you guys can take something from what I gave you today. And until the next time, and I'm out.